Hi, today we're going to take a look at the app IssieBoard. IssieBoard is a customized keyboard for the iPad. You use it just as you would any other keyboard, and you can go to it using the globe key, which I will show you in a minute. The app itself is basically the settings for the keyboard. It's not where you use the keyboard. You use the keyboard wherever you are working. For example, I have a worksheet open here in our app IssieDocs. And here you can see the app, the keyboard IssieBoard. If I wanted to switch to a different keyboard, I use this globe key. If I want to go back to IssieBoard, I can do a long press on the globe key when I'm on the iPad keyboards, and you can see that I've chosen IssieBoard. So let's go back to the IssieBoard app and make some settings. So first of all, this first setting here is to reset whatever you've been doing. If you want to reset to the default, you just click on that button. The next setting is languages. IssieBoard is available with English, Hebrew, or Arabic keyboards. You can also choose a combination of two so that you don't have to leave IssieBoard to get another language. You can have English and Hebrew, or Arabic and English, or Arabic and Hebrew. We're going to stick with our English keyboard for now. And then you can also choose, the next one in line is key order. And you can choose a standard layout or alphabetical order. The next set of settings are the colors for the keyboard, the basic colors, so the background, the key color, and the text color. And then the next set are the additional keys, so the space key, delete key, enter key, and some other keys. I personally like to give these a specific color, which helps give a cognitive cue as to what the function of that key may be. So I'm just clicking on the color, and a color board opens up, and I choose the color that I like. This setting here, diacritics definitions, that's for Hebrew and Arabic that have little symbols with the letters that tell you how to say them. So it's not for the English keyboard. But there are a few settings for that option as well. I'm going to click here on Show Keyboard so you can see what I've done so far. And as you can see, I have a basic keyboard, but I've given some color to some of the main keys that give a clue to their function. If I click on this key right here, I can close the keyboard for now, and let's continue. The next option that you have is sections or rows. When we click on that, we see we have an option to choose, either to divide our keyboard by color, by rows, or by sections. We're gonna stay with sections for now. And the reason that I wanted to do that is because I wanted to highlight for you this option. So first of all, if you decide to choose different colors, you'll see that when you're in sections, you're gonna have a right section, a middle section, and a left section, and you choose the colors, specific colors that you want for those options. So for example, I'm gonna change the key color of the right section to orange, and the left section to, let's say pink. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to show keyboard, and now you have 3 sections. What I love about the sections options is you can close off the middle section. Why is that important? If you want to teach typing and give a cognitive cue for which letters are for the left hand and which letters are for the right hand. So if you show keyboard now you only have 2 sections, left and right hands. I'm going to just go up for a minute and reset my keyboard to the default. I'm going to give my space bar the colors that I like, these things that I like to do. Okay, and we're going to continue on with our settings. The next setting is selecting keys. Now this is a wonderful option, and it's what I believe makes IssieBoard the most useful, is that you can hide keys, and the keys that remain stay in their original place, which means that students or users can practice typing without all the visual scanning required, but their fingers start to also learn the motor plan. So let's say I want to
H-E-L-O.
type the word hello. I will highlight those keys. Let's hide the keyboard for a second. Open it back up. And now you see that only the letters for that word are on the keyboard. So let's see how that will look for a second. I'm going to go to my worksheet. And now I see that just those keys are open.
H-E-L-L-O.
And now I have the word hello. Let's go back to IssieBoard. Let's go back to our settings. And I'm going to go back to this selecting keys for a minute and just erase those letters because I want my full keyboard back. And we're going to go down to the last settings here, which are highlighted keys. And this allows me to give certain keys a different color. So let's say I wanted to highlight for my student
A-E-I-O-U.
vowels, or I wanted to highlight the difference between B and D.
B.
So I would give B, let's say they keep making confusion between B and D. I'm going to give B its specific color. So I've chosen B, and I'm now going to give it a different color. Let's give it this color. Let's see how that looks. And now B is different. So then they start to learn. It's a nice cognitive cue and reminder for that difference. And at the bottom, the last setting we have is templates. So I just created a B keyboard. So I'm going to click on that plus in the corner, and I'm going to name
B. D.
Okay, I'm going to click on save. And I now have a keyboard saved in my templates. This is super useful if you have keyboards for different reasons, or if you're working with different students and each one has their own customized keyboard, then or keyboards for different activities. And that way you don't have to redo them every time. You can save a template. You just go into here, click on the one that you want, select the current keyboard, and when you go to your worksheet, let's go back to our worksheet in IssieDocs. I now have this keyboard, whereas before I had a different keyboard. And that's IssieBoard. Just a reminder that when you want to change your IssieBoard keyboard, or you want to change the settings of your IssieBoard keyboard, you have to do it in the IssieBoard app and then go back to where you're working. That's all for now.